In Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, there's a very powerful story, 3 Feet from Gold. In my book, Big Miracles, the 11 Spiritual Rules for Ultimate Success, I specifically speak about not quitting before the miracle occurs. I believe that we are at a point in cryptocurrency, in blockchain, that 2021 is a beyond pivotal year. It is a catapult to moving into a whole new world. If we put aside the negatives, the bearish technical analysis, the FUD coming out from media narrative, the fear that comes up psychologically for humans, if we just begin to focus again on the positives that is happening, the people who are working within this space diligently, day in, day out, who are shifting the cryptocurrency market from speculation to reality. We're going to be looking at this in this video. We're going to be looking at the development of the ecosystems, and for me, why I am more bullish than ever, despite what we see happening on the external right now. I'm Joanna Garzilli. This is Crypto Angel Network. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, lighting up that bell to get my notifications. Why? Why subscribe? Because you are focused on expanding your crypto awareness, and you have a desire to connect with other like-minded people who care about the development of blockchain and who are interested in a digital future that can work in a positive way so that we can evolve here physically in this space on Earth. It's not just about moving into something else and only going to a virtual world. I think, again, it's the idea of an expansion of how our environment is, to make it better, to create more opportunities for people, to make us more connected if we focus on those positive things. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so that we can get into Polkadot. I wanted to talk with you today about the Polkadot ecosystem and a couple of things that I've found that I think are really, really interesting. And hang on a second. Let me just bear with me a second here while I go through some just technical stuff. Okay, so how did I come across this? Well, I do so much research every day. I recently had done a certification from Ivan on Tech, which is on Polkadot. That was Polkadot 101 at the sort of more simple level. But I think that right now, with the markets down, not investment advice here, there could not be a better time to get into some of these cryptocurrencies, because when things pump again, that if you're looking to get into the space, then maybe you will kick yourself later on when you go, gosh, have I just gone in then? Now, I do not think from a day trading perspective right now for Polkadot or the other tokens that are within that ecosystem, but from the idea of hodling and just letting it be and enjoying having that particular token in your portfolio would be a positive. So I just want to start off here with, when we go to CoinMarketCap, we can see that the top Polkadot ecosystem tokens by market capitalization. And also I'm going to be speaking just briefly as well about Cardano too, and looking at the two side by side. As of right now, on the 24-hour, we can see that Polkadot is down 4.9%, and the 7 days negative 7.07%. That the market cap right now is 14 billion 686 million. And then within that ecosystem, we got Chainlink. Gosh, I remember when things were really, really bullish, Chainlink was over $30, and right now it's $18.57. I remember when Kusama was well over $400, is now, I think it went up to $600 at one point. It's now $204. We've got Ontology right now that is 71 cents. Ox at 69. cents, and then Anchor at 0.07. I was in some Anchor that was, I think it had a high at one point not so long ago of 21 cents. So when the market does come back, again, not investment advice here, but is this unrealistic to expect a project like Anchor to triple within this next year? I would think so. It's just that people dived in. My feeling, the more and more I look at blockchain, people dived in because the market was pumping like crazy. And we're at that tipping point of going from speculation into manifestation. And there's a lot of good things that are happening. So let me just come over here a sec, and I am going to go over here. I wanted to just take a moment to look at a comparison. And I just also want to stress as well that when people talk about Cardano, Polkadot, or Ethereum killers, I don't think it's about killing Ethereum, because Polkadot and Cardano were born out of, as sort of, I like to think of them as offspring from Ethereum. As we will see, both founders of Ethereum went on to go and create Polkadot and Cardano ecosystems. And this is important to take this into consideration, that what I see and what I'm noticing from my perspective, and you let me know in the comments if you feel the same or otherwise, that it's not about having just a competition there in terms of which token's going to be better, which ecosystem or innovation within the space is going to live or die. It is about, what I see is, I think that people who are super creative, who are inventors, they get restless. They want to see things move quicker. They want to see results. And so these creations come not from a negative standpoint, and not in a negative context about Ethereum, but really looking at how can things be lifted up? How can things evolve? So let's just go, and I wanted to here just go over the comparisons between Polkadot and Cardano. And this is coming from Altcoin Bars. Let's just take a minute to acknowledge the journalist here. This is by Martin Bilusic. So thank you, Martin. And I love these comparisons. And this makes me feel really, really positive. So right now we have the ranking for Polkadot as number 9, Cardano as number 5. The total market cap for Polkadot is 19 billion. For Cardano, quite a bit bigger, 46.5 billion. The price of Polkadot, well, it's down from, this was on June 21st. Right now, it's actually $15.40. And we'll take a very, very, very brief look at the chart afterwards. And I'm going to show you why I just believe that we are very much in just a period of consolidation, and that it is critical to ignore the FUD that is out there. So Polkadot was $21, Cardano $146. I think Cardano this past weekend was around around 150, 160. TPS up to 1500 TPS per parachain, limited to around 100 parachains. It is theoretically possible to achieve 150,000 TPS. And for Cardano, 250 to 1,000. The plan is to achieve 2 million TPS in the future. That is a lofty goal. So these are things that I think that one of the things is maybe Cardano. I think that I'm wondering if certain things, it seems to me, again, you let me know your thoughts in the comments from what you know for the Crypto Angel Network community. It seems like Polkadot is further along in terms of manifestation with projects within blockchain, and Cardano has loftier goals and is they're just not as far along in their development. But I could be totally wrong with that. Maybe there's something you know that I don't know here. The staking rewards for Polkadot are 13.21% here, and they are 7.26 for Cardano. Let's see, interoperable. Yes, right, exactly. So, I mean, I think that answers what I just said there, but in terms of Polkadot is further along there. For those of you who are newer to crypto, interoperability means that is going to work with other ecosystems, that you can create bridges between different applications. And that my understanding is that Polkadot and Cardano are both layer 2 solutions built on top of Ethereum, which is layer 1. And so for Cardano, no, it's in development. Current adoption, there are more than 400 projects building on Subtrade. Polkadot project started in 2016. And for Cardano, there's no information about projects that are building on Cardano. So yes, it seems that definitely Polkadot is further along here. The team for Polkadot, we got 60 plus developers across 15 countries, and 1,000 validators for proof of stake. And then here for Cardano, 300 plus employees and 2,000 active nodes. So, a bigger scheme of things, 2 to 3 years from now, I would imagine that both of these ecosystems have manifested a lot of the roadmaps that they have and are moving very well. Now, something else that I wanted to show you here that I found absolutely fascinating, that this is part of the, let me go over here. This is part of the, so this is part of the Polkadot ecosystem, and it's called a Subspace network. And so Subspace, it's not, from my research, it's not a specific token. But it is being built on top of, this is being built on top of Polkadot from within that ecosystem. A free and fair blockchain for all. Subspace is a next generation blockchain that allows anyone to participate in consensus without having to buy special hardware, burn electricity, or purchase a coin. And their mission is to re-decentralize crypto. This is something I'm seeing a lot at the moment of where people are saying, wow, Polygon is really helping Ethereum work more efficiently. And then I see other people within the space say, well, there is quite a level of centralization that is happening. And so this is something that the value system of it seems that as we move ahead within blockchain, there is going to be people are sort of going to fall into it's okay to be centralized and have a form, an aspect of decentralization, and then others will really just want to be fully decentralized. It's like there's sort of like the idea that's popping into my head right now is if one were to go skiing, and I would look at something like maybe XRP would be like skiing on a red piste, and doing, say, something like here, Subspace would be going off piste. And there's these different levels to where sort of one fits within the rails. And so what is right? What is wrong? I think that everyone shares a common goal of moving towards having finance is being digitized. And so we are going to have projects within blockchain, different ends of the spectrum, whether it be we've got to only do it fully decentralized, or it's okay to have a high level of centralization to be able to create mass adoption. But I thought this was very, very interesting here. Cryptocurrency is becoming increasingly centralized. Mining farms, staking pools, and trusted exchanges dominate the industry. Our goal is to build the most decentralized blockchain on the planet and make crypto exciting again. In the beginning, anyone could mine Bitcoin. Satoshi Nakamoto's famously introduced consensus based on proofs of work under the mantra 1 CPU. That's a computer processing unit to 1 vote, allowing anyone to mine using their home computer. Unfortunately, this quickly gave way to 1 ASIC, 1 vote, which is application-specific integrated circuit, to 1 vote. Today, a handful of ASIC farms rules the network while burning massive amounts of electricity every day. This is not decentralized or environmentally sustainable. Proof of stake just helps the rich get richer. So this is this idea of plutocracy. In an effort to provide a sustainable alternative, proof of stake blockchains employ a system of virtual mining based on one's wealth under the adage, one coin, one vote. Unfortunately, this does not hold true to Nakamoto's original vision for blockchain, and instead reflects a permissioned and plutocratic alternative. In practice, staking is highly centralized and only serves to make the rich even richer. Proof of capacity is our last hope. So this was the first time I came across this term. What is instead needed is a system based on an underlying resource that's already widely distributed. Blockchains based on proof of capacity achieve this by replacing compute-intensive mining with storage-intensive farming. Under the maxim, one disk, one vote. Unfortunately, all existing designs lack incentive compatibility due to the mechanism design challenge known as the farmer's dilemma. So Subspace is going to be the first proof of capacity blockchain that resolves the farmer's dilemma. And I thought this is interesting as well because there's a number of different projects, tokens that have had these liquidity pools and rug pulling. And so I felt like this vision was very novel and positive for blockchain at large and for decentralized finance. In a proof of capacity blockchain, farmers must decide whether to allocate scarce storage resources towards either maintaining the chain state. And let me just say with this, I think now where we're seeing that, when there's an endless amount of tokens, for my understanding, for DeFi to be successful, it is important to have a certain level of scarcity that can then address, one can, I would understand, organically adapt to inflation, deflation, and to be able to always create a fairness within the economics of our supply and demand chain. And history of maximizing the amount of space they pledge towards consensus, right? So finding agreement. Rational farmers will always choose the latter at becoming better light clients, while at worst encouraging pooled farming under a few trusted operators. So this is, one of the things I wonder with projects, for example, like Safe Mars or Safe Moon, or, I'm just trying to think. There's so many of them where there is this, you have this one pool, and we're saying that it's decentralized. But I think there's a difference between privacy, sort of anonymity, and then having a consensus between different nodes within the network. And that is an important distinction to make within blockchain. And to have that, that is going to be critical moving forward for the blockchain community and blockchain to evolve in a positive way at large, so that for mass adoption to occur, people need to be able to trust. If I go and invest in some capacity, if I want to be part of one of these liquidity pools, if I want to go and stake, can I trust this particular network? So they're focused here on proofs of history. Subspace farmers store provable unique replicas of the blockchain itself, ensuring the history is always available. Decoupled execution to prevent farmers from having to perform redundant computation. A separate class of executor nodes compute state transitions. And then stateless farming. Since executors maintain the state, farmers no longer need to, and many now pledge all of these available space to consensus. So Subspace is also the first network that fully resolves the blockchain trilemma, right? Scaling, security, and decentralization. Since Subspace already resolves these issues, in order to circumvent the farmer's dilemma, it is indeed able to scale without making compromises. So we've got vertical scaling, horizontal scaling, and fast finality. And then we can see here, built with the best technology, EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine compatible, library peer-to-peer, parity substrate. So this comes off of the, my understanding of from within the Polkadot ecosystem, and then pure Rust. And so we got cross-chain exchange, distributed storage, provides cheap, permanent, decentralized app storage while still making the data available to a global execution layer, and then composable side chains. So, here, Subspace began several years ago as an idea for a layer 2 network suitable for building decentralized applications at scale. Along the way, we learned the fundamental problem in the crypto space lies in designing a fair and sustainable layer 1 that remains secure and decentralized. While inspired by many other projects, we ultimately feel that all existing proposed solutions were inadequate. We've spent the last few years doing the hard work of researching and designing a novel protocol from scratch that lives up to these ideals. And it is being built by Subspace Labs. And I think what's really important and why I imagine this is a project to watch out for. Keep this on your radar. Do your due diligence. Look for stories on this, and I will bring you updates as well. But it has support from the US National Science Foundation. They are based out of Palo Alto. They also have support from Consensus, Social Finance, and One Boat Capital. They've had quite a few million invested into them, into their development, and they are growing, and they are also hiring people right now as well. So, and you can sign up for project updates on them here. And I just got I got very excited when I saw this. I thought this was very, very positive. And then here you can see is that I've been reading through their white paper that I think is fascinating. And this is the CEO of Subspace Labs, Jeremiah Wagstaff here. Very, very interesting. So you let me know your thoughts on the comments there. And then the last thing I wanted to do here is just hop over to look at, well, where are things right now? And I got all these dots here. Okay, let's see. So this is on the 1 day chart. And you can see here overall for Polkadot that after we hit these, hang on, let me just try and get rid of this. After we hit these highs here, I'm going to just zoom out a little bit. Hang on. Let me just switch here to hourly. Hang on a sec. I want to just clear this. Cancel. I'm trying to get rid of these. Otherwise, we're going to just ignore them. Hang on. See if I can just delete this. Otherwise, I'll just deal with it. No, I can't get rid of it right now. Okay, just stick with me with this a sec. So when looking here at Polkadot, this is a period of consolidation. I will be very, very surprised if you can see here, when was this? This was back on that would have been a bargain to buy in there. On June the 22nd, it came down to, and this was again because of the these recent crashes, because of all the market manipulation that's been happening. It went down to $13.38. But since then, again, we're going sideways. There is a period of consolidation. But if we just come back to where Polkadot's all-time high was, hang on a sec, 48, almost close to $50 was that all-time high. And so if we were to go and say, if I was going to say sort of a price prediction, I would imagine that once things go bullish again, when the market starts to move and people are past this, people aren't skittish anymore, they're not scared, that Polkadot will, where will this be at end of 2022? I'll be very surprised if it's not over $100, maybe even moving towards $200. I think longer term, Polkadot has the potential to definitely be a $250, $300 token. And if we got to think as well of Polkadot and Cardano, because they are doing something similar to Ethereum, and where Ethereum now is at around 2,300, and we know we had that all-time high of around just close to 4,400. Why could Polkadot or Cardano not eventually become 5-figure tokens? But the way that I look at this, that this is, when I first came into the space, I was doing some day trading, some swing trading. I was jumping around a little bit, and now my focus is to it's a longer term. It's to be in it for the longer term. I was listening to something from who I like very much, Elio Trades, who is the founder of Superfarm, specializing in NFTs and gaming. And I liked how he said when he came into the space, he came in 2017 and then went through the crash of 2018, which, like I said at the beginning of this video, I went through a similar experience. But I didn't stick with it. He studied every day. He immersed himself. He really took action. Whereas I just went and was like an ostrich and stuck my head in the sand. But what he said was because he kept studying, because he was focused on learning more, which is, again, this concept of Crypto Angel Network, right, is to expand our crypto and blockchain awareness, that now that has really paid off for him in a positive way, because he was able to look at the fundamentals of certain projects and see, wow, this is great, and then stick with it. And that's how I feel. I'm looking at really, I just sticking with this and being within the space. So I feel that if you're new to crypto and you haven't yet gone into the space and people are talking about the bear market, there couldn't be a better time to be able to dive in and maybe just go small to get comfortable with holding some tokens. I think at first it was very, very uncomfortable for me. Now I'm used to it. I just don't even I don't even worry about it with whatever this sort of like where people sell the options on the Friday and the market crashes. I don't care, because the tokens I have, I just look at it, I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm gonna hold what I have there. In terms of Bitcoin and Ethereum, just hold them for at least 3 years. I'm not gonna sell them unless I had to sell them. I'm just gonna stick with it and then do some dollar cost averaging in as well. But I do think once the market starts to move again, Polkadot, Cardano are very exciting. And then again, just to go back to Subspace, that Subspace is just a great example of many projects that have brilliant people that are being funded, and that when we start to see that shift from speculation into an actual realization, the market is going to move again. Because of this, because here again, if we just look at Polkadot, and it's doing very much the same thing. This is across markets. This isn't just within layer 2 solutions. We see it happening with, if you look at if you look at the charts overall, you will see that they are moving a lot in a very, a similar pattern. You see, this is across the market. Can you see here how they are moving in a very similar way? I mean, Dogecoin moves a little bit different. But you see, look, if you look at XRP, you can see Polkadot's moving very similarly. Uniswap here, slightly differently. But what I am noticing more and more is that the market as a whole is moving more in sync instead of being very different per token. You let me know in the comments what you think. What do you feel about the way the market's moving? But my last point being that when I hear people talk about this, we're in a 3-year bear market, I just do not see how that is possible. And I could be totally, totally wrong. But each day when I am researching and studying blockchain, I just feel that it just takes time for people sort of to catch up and to be okay to be able to trust this. And this is something new for people who've been in the space for 10 years. It's not new. It's been evolving fast, rapidly. But for someone that has never seen this stuff, that is just listening to mainstream media, news stories, and looking more of a surface level and not looking at the fundamentals, they would not understand how much innovation is happening at lightning speed. And that I still believe that towards the end of this year, things will really start to move again. And if we zoom out and look at a bigger picture, 2025, 2030, the top 100 tokens that are there, I would say the majority of them, maybe 2 or 3 of them, are going to be projects that won't work out. But the majority of those top 100 will have grown in the long run, despite the ups and downs, the pumps, the corrections will have gone up at least 20, 30%. And I think that's on the conservative side. You let me know what you think, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you haven't already subscribed to Crypto Angel Network, please go ahead and do so. Share the video, like and comment, and I will see you in the next video. Lots of love.